Hiya, Babak. Good morning and welcome back to Casa.texpina. We're on build day number 132 today. It's Tuesday, August the 18th. We are expecting intermittent power interruptions today. So not a full power outage, and the welders are here on site and they're going to work through it as best as possible. Continuing on as well, Mr. Romy out here in front with the doing the plaster coating. We've got plaster coating operations in several locations, in the stairwell going up to the media room, in the pantry, on the outside of the fence here, and then also Mr. Jojo and Mr. Allen are both doing wall cladding, both with stone or the fiber cement board. So we're continuing to work those today. And let's see what else. Oh, they're pouring the last two concrete columns for the back fence. So we closed the gap up, we closed the hole on that yesterday, closed the fence. So today they're gonna do the fence posts for those, and then we'll get moving on from there to plaster coating the rest of that fence line. Okay, so I'm going to start walking you guys around and show you what everybody's working on individually. So let's get started. All right, so we're getting started back here with the downsizing of the bunkhouse storage room. Mr. Ben and Mr. Edmund over here have been removing the corrugated sheet on the sides and the two pieces of lumber that went through the walls. Those will be filled with mortar when they get around to the plaster coating section, and they're going to cover up the end here so that none of the piping or the pipe and the conduit are exposed. So they're going to continue downsizing that. Okay, Mr. Allen over here is continuing with the wall cladding of the fiber cement board. This is along the south wall outside of the master suite. Coming around to the front of the house. Well, getting there eventually. Coming around to the front side of the house, Mr. Jojo is working the stone wall cladding. The engineer was by yesterday afternoon and directed him to lower the bottoms of the stone cladding one more course. So they're going to put it down one more level all the way across, and we'll take a look at that as it happens. Mr. Romy is moving on with the plaster coating of the inside of the fence line. He's working on that. Let's go ahead and work our way on in. See what we see over here in the dark. I know I've got Mr. Jericho is in the pantry area, and he is on mushroom duty again. Ah, mushroom status again, huh? You got stuck in the closet. All right. And Mr. Chalks, our engineer, our electrician, is back. He is asking for assistance today from me to help mark out where the electrical outlets are going to be along the perimeter fence. We're not going to put outlets along the outside of the house. We're going to put them along the exterior of the inside of the fence as we go around. And momentarily back here above the guest room number 2 and going out over the garage area adjacent to this, the welders will continue putting in the steel floor framing, just like they've been working on for the last couple of days. So this is going to continue. It's going to turn 90 and go the other direction here soon. Up here in the staircase, got a couple masons up here that are starting to do the plaster coating of the stairwell. All right, we got some delivery here. It looks like angle iron and tubular steel. Good morning. And it looks like a couple of bags of cement underneath the tarp. So these guys are going to start offloading. We'll show you when they're done. All right, let's take a close look and see what we got. We've got tubular steel. Looks like about 80 pieces of tubular steel. Some angle iron. And some cement. Looks like about 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 18, 20, 24, 28, 32 bags. 32 bags of cement. And some more miscellaneous. This is probably paint for some of the prime coat. So what they're prime coating the metal with. Because you can see these are galvanized. This is galvanized steel, 50 by 100 millimeter by 5. So yes, these are the metric version of a 2x4. All right, you're going to take off the last one of the tubular steel and then start taking the angle iron over. Now for the heavy stuff. I'm pulling these out about 5 or 6 at a time. There you go. Mabigat no. Okay, Mr. Ben has been, they removed the side of the bunkhouse, the storage area. So we're going to ask him to push all those pipes back a little further and get it to where they're not reachable from the outside, and go ahead and cover that side up. But in the interim, they're starting, Mr. Ben here is starting to plaster coat all this side. So he'll be working on that today. We do have a temporary power interruption. Been out since about 8:15 and it is currently 10:20. So it's not supposed to be all day. They said power interruptions throughout the day. So we'll see how that goes. So that means the wall cladding with the fiber cement board has stopped because they need to use the drill to drill the pilot holes. They don't want to just drill in, hit into it with a straight nail that'll split the fiberboard. Okay, so I'm doing a little site cleanup. Some more plaster coating over on the side of the fence line here. Mr. Romy and Mr. Jojo here has been working to add the bottom piece of stone wall cladding down on the bottom here on the inside. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Got a little more plaster coating going on. Our Mr. Chucks, our electrician, is going back behind where the air conditioning installers chiseled out and put in their conduits. Both the CCTV and the air condition both do not include filling in the holes that they chisel out. That's on our labor crew to do that. So our labor crew is fixing and patching holes. So these are the things they're taking care of during the power outage. We also have Mr. Allen over here in the kitchen working a little bit more on the jig or the template for the front of the kitchen counter space. right, we're going to get started from the media room. Try to get everybody going before the rain comes in. It is a little after 2. It's about almost 2:30. We haven't had power since 8:30 this morning. They said intermediate interruptions. This has been an all-day power out. My welders stuck around until almost 1:30, 1:45 and said, okay, we're calling it, we're done. Here, this is Mr. Wilson. He is doing some more plaster coating around the box window for the media room. And doing a little cleanup over here. Mr. Carlito, Mr. Joel has been plaster coating most of the morning, and they've got the wall, the first section of wall done. Getting ready to head down the staircase, and Mr. Jerome is getting a little bit of help ahead of time, getting it ready for Mr. Joel to get started on. Let's go take a look here in the dark. Wow, Mr. Jericho's working in the dark. Look at that, you can barely see the guy. Oh, there he is. Hey. So we got the top half done. Wow. And starting to work a little bit in the bottom. We're just going to put Jericho here on permanent mushroom status. We're going to keep him in the dark. He does fairly well in here. All right, we're going to come out front, see what everybody's working on. Done as much as they can with the stone wall cladding. Some of this they need a grinder to be able to get the sizes just right. So without the power, no grinder, and without that means no grinder, no wall cladding. So what everybody else has moved on to is plaster coating the fence line and doing a little site cleanup. So you can see a couple of my carpenters over here are doing site cleanup here, getting rid of some of the big clods of dirt and moving them around. Hi, Miss Emie. Oh, you know that's going on YouTube. The big tongue out and everything. Uh-huh. That's not getting edited. All right. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're moving the dirt from the front to the side over here, and we're starting to cover up some of the pipes, the sewer pipes down this side. And out on the side, we've got Mr. Jojo and Mr. Ben plaster coating the exterior of the fence wall. Good rough coat finish. Still working on it. Well, would you look at that? We got the power back on, and it started raining, and it's about 3:45. So we'll see what gets done the rest of the afternoon, but I'm not expecting a whole lot. Unfortunately, with the power being out for most of the day, about the only thing that's really been accomplished is a lot of plaster coating. It's good, we need to have plaster coating done, but it's very uneventful for you guys, because plaster coat's plaster coat, you know. Wipe it on, smooth it out, wipe it on, you know, it's the same routine. So something else happens, we'll let you know. All right, the guys are starting to wrap up the tools and putting things away. It's almost the end of the day. They'll be yabba dabba do timed here in a little bit. Today is one of those really long days. Power interruption turned into power outage. So what was only supposed to be brief interruptions throughout the day ended up being from 0800 this morning all the way until almost 3:30, 3:45 this afternoon before they decided to turn the power back on. What does that entail for us at doing stuff here on the construction site? That means lots of manual labor, things that you can do by hand, which at this point, as we're getting closer to getting ready to do finishing work and still trying to do the dry-in, that means that the wall cladding cannot be put on because they need to be able to, there's the bell, they need to be able to use a drill or a grinder to be able to get all those pieces where they need to be. So that wasn't able to happen today. The welders were not able to weld today, so what they did do was when they got a shipment of tubular steel in, they started painting it with the prime coat, with the primer, so that it's at least protected as they're starting to put it into place. Then they'll go back and just have to paint over the places that have been scuffed up and welded. The rest of what happened today was lots of plaster coat, which needed to be done. But for you guys on the other side of the view screen, it is rather boring. The other thing continued today was the fence posts here on the back fence wall all had their concrete poured. So we have no more fence posts to be poured. All of them have been poured to this point. So the next thing is going to be plaster coating the backs of these, getting everything prepped for the next stage when we put in the fence grills along the front and they start doing the final plaster coat around the back. So that's a wrap for today. We will see you tomorrow. We will have everybody on site tomorrow because tomorrow is Bali Day. It's Hump Day Wednesday. So they will all be here tomorrow to make sure they can avail of that Bali Day if they need it. And with power running, we should be able to have all the welders on site as well and get moving with the steel floor trusses for the steel floor framing upstairs, going around the guest bedroom and starting into the garage area. So we'll see that tomorrow. So until we see you tomorrow, if you enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the casa.texpina star right over here. If you'd hit the bell icon just below the view screen, you'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow, have a great afternoon and God bless.
Where's the horse?
Hi ho, Silver! Away!